What's going on, guys? MS Sports Vids back here for another Pro Stock Hockey review, and today I've got myself a beauty pickup. I'm very excited about this stick. I've already used it a couple times, and I really like it so far. So let's get into the details here. Right off the bat, you can see by the name tag here, it is a Jared Spurgeon Easton Synergy GX. And I think it's pretty obvious to tell why Jared Spurgeon isn't actually using these in the NHL this season with the Minnesota Wild, and that's pretty sure since the beginning of the season. I know for the majority of it, he switched to Warrior. He's been wearing QRL gloves and using the new Alpha QX sticks. So he's pretty much become a Warrior guy, and that's why I imagine was the reason that so many of these were on the market. And from when I was a little kid, when I got my first Synergy way back in the day, I also had the Easton S17, the Easton EQ50, the RS. Easton was a good stick company back in those days, but once that V9 and V9E line came out, it didn't really do it for me. I wasn't too high on those sticks, but when the GX came out last year, I thought it looked pretty cool, and if I could get a deal on one of them, I said I would try it, and sure enough, this came up, and I decided to pull the trigger. The only thing is, though, what I've noticed about the GX in general, I've never actually seen a retail one in any of the stores I've been to. There's about 3 local hockey shops around here, and I haven't seen a retail GX in any of them. And that leads me to my first feature on this Jared Spurgeon GX, is that when you look at the blade, for those of you that have seen GXs in a retail store, or for anyone that's seen a retail GX in pictures or on the internet somewhere, you notice that the blade has like a white tip right about here. Like, I think it comes down to about here, and like that's part of the design on it. But obviously, since this is a pro stock, there's a lot of different features to it, and I guess for whatever reason, Jared Spurgeon likes a particular blade that doesn't have that, or doesn't have the Easton one, so that's why you can't see that on here. Other than that, it doesn't seem like there are too many other differences. There's no coding right where his name is there, so it's kind of tough to get an idea of what the features actually are. Not that I would really know what it is anyway. That's where I bring you guys into play, because a lot of you guys seem to have some good insight on what the coding means and everything, and that's why I do this, to kind of help myself learn a little bit more of the sticks that I get. Here you can tell it says it's a mid kick point, which is always a good thing. I tend to like those a little bit better, just better feel for it and everything. And one other thing I wanted to mention with this GX here is I wonder if it's the last Easton stick I'll ever own. And I don't know if any of you guys have heard different, but obviously everybody knows that Easton didn't pay their branding fees for helmets, gloves, and I think skates even. I don't even think people used Easton skates really that much anyway. But yeah, only sticks was the equipment they paid their branding fees for this season. So that's why you don't see any of the other stuff. That's why you see a lot of guys who still are wearing Easton helmets. The Easton logos on them are blocked and crossed out. Or even some of them, I know Steve Ott and Alex Killorn, 2 players in particular, guys who wear Easton buckets, they actually have a Bauer label put over top of them. So I wonder if because the reason for that, mainly for that, is because Bauer bought Easton, so now they obviously own them, and I wonder if Bauer is going to continue the Easton stick line at all, and maybe make another one with the name, or if they're just going to get rid of it completely. I can definitely see where there's still demand to use Easton sticks. They established themselves pretty well from back in the day, so that wouldn't surprise me if they do continue making sticks, maybe like one a year or one every couple years. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and find out with that. But with using this stick, I definitely enjoy it. Like I said earlier when I mentioned how I used to have an Easton EQ50, an RS back in the day. It really reminds me of like a combination of the two of those, and I'm very very happy with it, and yeah, looking forward to using this a lot more and whatnot. Oh, and the last thing here before we wrap it up, I didn't actually talk about the curve because there really isn't too much to talk about. It's your typical P92. If we're talking Easton classic terms, it's the Sackett curve. So the definitely one of my preferences. Usually all my sticks that I show you guys are going to be either a P92 curve or a P28 curve, because I don't know how you guys can use the P88 Patrick Kane curve from Bauer. It's awful. I've tried it before and I really don't like it. But anyway, that's the Jared Spurgeon Easton GX here. Comment below with anything that I may have missed or any features that you notice on it, and if you have any questions about it, I'll do my best to answer as well. Sorry, I know I keep saying I have other sticks that I have to get to, which I still obviously do, but I saw this available and I picked it up and I wanted to do a video of it first and foremost. So I'll definitely get to those other ones eventually, but for now, thank you very much for watching this video on my Jared Spurgeon Easton GX, and we'll see you guys next time. All right, take care, guys.